Here at the scene of the crime spree, right behind you.
Hey, strange.
Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
Did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
Tonight is going to be an interesting, very, very important one for you. I've got more to tell you too, kind of a lot. This is going to have more information, new information for you tonight than most nights. Tomorrow's going to be a very, very big day. I can't wait for tomorrow. Things happened today. There was an arrest made today. That's not insignificant, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. But first, let's talk about this outfall project. This was first proposed back in 2014. And what they're telling you now, and who saw Mayor Sheldon's Minute with Mark that he posted today? I think they've lost on this issue. Listen, mark my words. There's not going to be any discharge outflow project. It's not going to happen. Right now, they are drilling into the soil to get samples, but it won't be until the end of 2022 before they get the permits they need to actually dig gigantic trenches into the Gulf to discharge stormwater at the end of the city pier. Yeah. It's going to be they're not going to be able to withstand this. I mean, they're not even talking to the press. They're friends in the media. They're public-private partners. Why is it that Mayor Sheldon and the entire Panama City Beach City Council has pled the fifth when it comes to talking about the $21 million of HUD money that they secured to do this? Why won't they talk about it? There is so much going on right now. We've waited a long time for the FBI investigation. Judges are being investigated in Bay County. This is so big. And Popeye Park's not just about Popeye Park. I mean, things are so big. They're afraid to say anything, all five of them. So they scripted something for Mayor Sheldon to say, and we'll take a look at it because it's knee-slapping funny. I mean, how does he not know that he looks like a snake oil salesman? I mean, you look at the Panama City Beach page, it's embarrassing. The comments are embarrassing. I mean, a lot of people hate me, but man, compared to them, good Lord. But what's happening, I think, because remember, I've been doing this for how long? 6, 7 years? Going to the council meetings and telling you this. And for the first, how many years? For 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, you didn't believe me. A lot of people didn't believe me. Bernie's crazy. And then they got subpoenaed last year for the things I'd been asking about. And a lot of people say, well, geez, maybe there's something there. There's a lot there. All right, let's start with what I promised you, though. Let's start with what proof do I have that the county has been working with Panama City Beach to do what they called back then I think they called it a discharge outfall or something. We'll look, we'll see. This document I'm going to show you is actually on the Bay County Commission's website, the Bay County website. It had to do with the Restore Act. Kelly Jenkins is the city engineer now for Panama City Beach. She's the one pushing for this project, and she's pushed for it for a long time, since at least 2014. In 2014, she presented what was called a pre-approval application for Restore Act funding to do this. Here's what they're lying about. When I spoke with Kelly Jenkins in January of this year on the phone, she explained to me that there were going to be 50 outfalls. What she means by 50 outfalls is 50 long ones under the ground, right? Bringing stormwater to locations close to the shore where they will be treated. Now, the treated part is an absolute joke. And then they will be discharged out at the end of the city pier. Okay. Now, these 50 outfalls under the ground are from uphill. They're from upland, and she told me this. They're from wetlands. They're going to drain wetlands into the Gulf. This is only the first one. There's actually two big giant ones that are going to go into the Gulf, and they're on. You're not going to believe me until it happens, I suppose. They're on each side of the city pier. On each side of the city pier, Panama City Beach officials think they're not going to do it. They think they're going to discharge stormwater. And what they're lying to you about is they've got many more in mind. They're going to do a lot of these things. They want to do them all up and down the Gulf because there's a lot of money involved. These people are so corrupt that I swear they would pump cyanide in the Gulf if there were enough kickbacks through funding. All right, let's take a look. And I'm going to share the screen a lot tonight. So it may be a little bit awkward, but we're going to go to the Bay County website. This is the smoking gun. I'm going to show you the map that they won't show you now, but I'll show you the map when they were honest about this in 2014. And again, it's the very same city engineer, Kelly Jenkins. It's her presentation, and it's basically much of the same plan. All right, let's take a look at that right after this. If you've got a honey-do list or you need some work done around the home or office, call Paul, PCB. He's licensed, insured, and he's a friend of mine. All right, we're going to the Bay County website for a 2014 document. You see this? I'm going to, I'll make it bigger. I want you to be able to see this. All right. This is on the, and maybe Miss Sarah Moon can post a link so you can see it yourself. All right. It was called the pre-proposal form. It was in the fall of 2014. And this is all about, they tried to do this back then with Restore Act funding. All right. I'm going to go all the way to the last page and show you the map that was submitted. This is when they only had 15 outfalls. These, again, are the ones under the ground, the ones that go offshore and discharge the stormwater. They have 2 that they admit to now, but look at how many they had planned. I'm going to scroll down on this until we get to the last page. And again, we're going to give you access to this document. It's on the Bay County website. Look at this. Here is the map. Let's see if I can, see if I can make it bigger, just the right size. How about that? Is that big enough? A little bit bigger. See, City of Panama City Beach, continuous beach outfall map. This is what they're hiding from you today. Now, if you look at the middle of the map, right between B106 and B97, oh gosh, I want to make sure you can hear me. Let me take a look at the comments. Will somebody let me know if everything's working properly before I go on with this? Because this map is incredible. Just give me a thumbs up or something. Anything will do. Give me the finger if you want. Just I need to know if I think you can hear me. All right, good, Matt. Thank you. All right, let's get back to this. So here's the map right there. The pier, the city pier, Pier Park is between B106 and B97. That's where do you see that line right there? That is the city pier. Now, the outfall projects that they say they're going to discharge stormwater through, they are 1,500 feet under the ground. Well, they're 30 to 40 feet under the ground, and they extend 1,500 feet out. How long do you think the city pier is? 1,500 feet. The outfall pipes to discharge their stormwater is exactly as long as the city pier. B97 is in front of Calypso Towers. That's the one they're talking about now. B106, these are underground, these are under the water in the Gulf. B106 is the one in front of Lowwater Lake, which was a beautiful dune lake. It was a coastal dune lake, one of the rare, beautiful wonders of the world. And back in, I think, 1969, before the city of Panama City Beach was incorporated, just before, but there was still another city entity, they covered over it. They built that front beach road, they covered over it, and they choked it off so it couldn't flow naturally. And so now Lowwater Lake is poisoned. They killed it. It's dead. It's got lily pads. It's nasty. It's got sludge in it. It's got pesticides. And here is a very important point I hope you hear. What they are doing with Lowwater Lake is they are turning it into St. Joe's retention pond. A retention pond is where they put stormwater and treat it. Lowwater Lake, they killed it, and they're telling the government in their application that the only way to fix it is to do this. They didn't tell the government that this is a Gulf. They called it the ocean. This has never been done in the Gulf of Mexico, ever. That's why their consultants called it the guinea pig. Okay, so they didn't tell the government it was the Gulf. They didn't tell the government that Lowwater Lake was a coastal dune lake that they killed. And they sure as hell didn't tell the government that there are other and better solutions. Currently, at Aaron Besant Park, do you see that right there? At Aaron Besant Park, you have oil and grease and other automobile fluids and fertilizer that is going into Lowwater Lake. They continue to do that, and they deny it up in the council meetings. These are the most dishonest people in the world. Now, look above. Do you see where it says Highway 98 right near the middle of the map? Panama City Beach Parkway, that's Back Beach Road. You see those red lines above it? Those are areas that have been developed, but those are the wetlands. Most of that St. Joe property. The city swears to you, pinky promises, that they're not going to drain stormwater from above Back Beach Road, from north of Back Beach Road. They're lying to you. So all of this, and you can go through this, look, it talks about the environmental impacts. You want to know the truth about, well, what they were saying back then at least was more honest. But you look through that, and I think you've got the link to do so. But that is smoking gun proof that they're lying to you. Panama City Beach is lying to you. They plan to do this for 30 or 40 years. I've shown Paul Casto say that. Do you want to hear Councilman Casto say that? Let's see if I have him. I do. Listen to this. Don't believe me? Here's Councilman Casto in January.
Get the grant to do it, and the city of Panama City Beach doesn't have the money to do these outfalls. We're going to have to rely on the federal government and these grants to do it. So I think I'm just tickled that we're finally to the point, and that we may get one of these done, which we combine several of them in that area before we go out, that we may actually get one of these in the ground. I think once we do that you'll see eventually it may take 20, 30, 40 years to get all of them done. But I just think it's a marathon like we talked last time. It won't happen overnight, and that is a lot of money. But if we don't spend that money now, and these grants become available, and you're not shovel ready, you won't get it done. So.
Have you received a speeding ticket for which you want no points placed onto your driving record? I'm El Saulene, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
So what I want to do now, I want to take a look at what Mayor Sheldon just put on. He just did his Minute with Mark video presentation. It's probably more like 2 minutes, but here's how excited they are about the stormwater outfall. Now they are in a heap of they're in a lot of trouble, the city of Panama City Beach. They are not even doing interviews with their media partners right now. They have pled the fifth on the issue of the $21 million. Now, how did they get the $21 million? Let me make sure you understand this. This is why they're not talking about it. You know what? I'm going to share that with you when I talk about Adam Albritton. Adam Albritton is the Lynn Haven attorney who the news came out today. His trial, he's kind of like the Cole Davis of Panama City Beach. All right, young attorney. His trial is coming up right around the corner. So now it looks like he's going to start pleading, right? And so he's going to start singing. And there are more elected officials and bureaucrats sweating more than Mario Gisbert under oath tonight. Not only for that, but for the other arrests that took place today. Because if she sings too, ooh, pobrecitos, it's going to be, and it is going to be. They know what they're doing, the feds on this. All right, so I'll explain all that to you. Let me try and stay focused. Let's take a look at Mayor Sheldon, and then when we get to the other one, I'll explain how the 21 million, why they're not talking, and how big this is. It's big, big. All right, let's get to Mayor Sheldon telling us how excited he is about the project. Tell me, by the way, if he looks sincere to you at all. All right, let's go to that. All right, sharing the screen here. Make sure I get this right. Oh boy, did I hope I got this right. Let's try this one. See if this is it. No, that's the wrong one. That's the one I'm going to tell you about in a moment. So let me get out of that. I promise you this is going to be worth it. If you'll just bear with me in some of the awkward transitions here. All right. So it's going to be this one here. All right. So what we'll do then is I'm just going to have to type it in. That's what I'm going to have to do. Oh, I can just go up. That's what I can do. Let's do this. Here's Mayor Sheldon. These are the posts that we've been making. By the way, if you're not following the page, I hope that you will. I've been very busy. I've been very, very busy. Here's Mayor Sheldon. Let me be quiet so you can see him. Tell me if you believe anything coming out of his mouth.
Project on the city's horizon is the Front Beach Road offshore outfall project, which recently support from Panama City Boaters Association. Over the years, the city has received complaints and questions about the outfall. As stormwater drains into the Gulf, it looks like dirty water. It is not. Stormwater is rainwater that does not reach the ground. Some stormwater runoff is held in ponds and lakes where it becomes tree sand from pine needles, grass, and wood.
All right, I can see I'm playing the wrong thing. Son of a gun. I can see I'm playing the wrong thing. So clearly that's not going to work. All right, I really may have to pass on this then. Unless you give me a minute. If you give me a minute, I'll get to it. Do it. This is too important. This is the unbelievable what you're going to see right now. Oh, here it is. Oh boy, here we go. Now I can share it. Now I can get it right. All right. Here we go. Mayor Sheldon talking about the stormwater outfall. This was from today.
Exciting projects on the city's horizon is the Front Beach Road Offshore Outfall Project, which recently received support from Panama City Boatmen's Association. Over the years, the city has received complaints and questions about the outfalls. As stormwater drains into the Gulf, it looks like dirty water. It is not. Stormwater is rainwater that does not soak into the ground. Some stormwater runoff is held in ponds and lakes where it becomes tea-stained from pine needles, grass, and leaves. This is naturally occurring, but because of its appearance, outfalls are considered an eyesore. There are about 50 on Panama City Beach, and more than half are inside the city limits. We have always had them, and they function to help prevent inland flooding. Now, the city has been given the opportunity, by way of a $21 million grant, to take 2 outfalls in one of the busiest areas of the beach, combine them, and run them under and out into the Gulf. Offshore, approximately 1,500 feet. No more ugly outfalls. But there are many more advantages to this kind of outfall. It will decrease beach erosion, improve water quality in the Gulf, enable long-term collection of water quality data, reduce coastal flood risk, enhance protection of wildlife, and reduce public health risk by removing the outfall discharge on the sandy beach. The PCB Boatmen's Association has issued a statement saying that this project, quote, dramatically improves every aspect of the current issues with the water runoff, end quote. The outfalls in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina improved the beach, eliminated trenches. That's right, eliminated trenches and made access easier for turtles while enhancing fishing offshore by providing an artificial structure for bait and other fish. Our discolored outfalls are a unique aspect of our ecosystem. This project takes the low water and the Calypso outfalls near the city pier underground and out into the Gulf where it already flows. It's as simple as that. This project does not harm the environment, marine life, or the quality of the community's greatest asset, the beach, and our primary industry, tourism. As part of this project, 2 huge water quality vaults will be installed to help reduce pollutants prior to discharge. The stormwater going through this outfall in the future will be cleaner than what is currently going into the Gulf today. The city is working diligently with many state and federal agencies such as the Corps of Engineers, DEP, Fish and Wildlife, the Coast Guard, FEMA, and others to ensure minimal impact to the Gulf, knowing that when this outfall is completed, it will be a vast improvement over what we have today. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you and God bless, he says. One of the things that drives me, it doesn't drive me crazy, it angers me, is when they do things like that, when they sit there and lie to you and then invoke God, or when they do, when they have their invocations before the meeting. And usually, if it's a city councilman, it really bothers me. But usually it's a pastor, and the pastor, probably doesn't know all the stuff that they're doing. And he prays for their wisdom, and he prays for the guidance and protection of the council. And I always wait for one of them to just pray for the people. I should take my 3 minutes once and do a prayer and pray, Lord, that you protect our homes, you protect what we earn, you protect our Gulf from these thieves who masquerade as public servants. Honest to God, that should be a prayer. You don't have to say it quite the way I do, but for once, would somebody please say a prayer and say, for the people who support and fund the city, who are being fleeced by these so-and-sos? Anyway, that's a pet peeve of mine. All right, so you want to laugh? Let's laugh. I got to show you this. This is so funny. So we've been protesting. By the way, there is a hashtag that we're using, and a lot of people don't know what it is. So if you're on the city website, Facebook page, or anywhere, and people are talking about this issue, will you please hashtag so everybody can follow what we're doing? Because we're the only ones really telling you everything. And I've got a lot more to tell you. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day. I can't wait to see your face tomorrow. The hashtag is, that's it. Bill Davenport has it. Save Our Golf PCB. Put it in as much as you want. Save Our Golf PCB. And that way people can follow it sort of like a file and get all the information. And that's just ours. That's our issue here. And again, can I just tell you, for once, we can be faithful and have joy because they're not putting this damn outfall in. They're not discharging water, stormwater, and harmful bacteria into the Gulf. It ain't happening. It's not happening. First of all, remember, right now they are drilling to get soil samples, but they are not going to build these trenches. It will take 1.5 years for them to get those permits if everything worked perfectly. Everything has fallen apart to the point that these council members and the mayor will not do interviews with the press. In order to get approval, they have to have they have to be fully informative with the public. And they're not doing that by avoiding interviews. And it has to do with the lies they told. This is HUD money. They said our tourist corridor was worthy of HUD money. They lied to the feds for $21 million. All right. So let's laugh, though. Can we do that? Let's take a look. And I want to make sure I get the right one. Okay. I want to take a look at I better get there first. Let me make sure I get it all queued up here. Let's take a look at the actual WJHG story that they did. And the reporters, see, they came out to our protest. We're protesting every Tuesday night and every Thursday night from 5 till 7 in front of City Hall. It's a big deal. And finally, they had to come out and report it. And so WJHG, this is so great. Oh my God, I laugh every time I see this. WJHG sent out a reporter 15 minutes before we were leaving, hoping that nobody would still be there. Well, we did have a bunch of people there still. And there was a nice reporter, by the way. I don't remember his name, but he was nice. And I think a little naive because he interviewed me. And he said he's going to go back. They're going to run the story at 10. Well, he texted me a little bit later. And this nice reporter, I wish I could remember his name. He said, they're not going to run the story tonight. Okay. Instead, they're going to do a bigger story. And I knew immediately what that meant. That meant that they were going to try to make us look bad. And they were going to quote the city council and the mayor. But the problem was the city council and the mayor, they're not talking. And you'll hear at the end of this story that WJHG ran 3 nights ago, you'll hear that they're not doing interviews. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is hilarious. WJHG still carried their water, though. Understand that. WJHG is being snubbed by the city council, their public-private partners, yet they still made the argument for them fervently. Oh, I got to tell you something else. You may or may not know, but when they interviewed me, they asked me, "What's your title? What do you do?" The young man asked, and I said, "Well, I'm a talk show host." And later I texted him. I said, "You know what? I've really been focused on watchdog journalism. So why don't we put watchdog journalist, right?" Well, the lady, and I don't remember her name, who does the story, who actually the reporter, I met her several months back, and we were both going to do a little report, and she was there, so I was trying to be nice. We're sort of near each other, and I asked her where she went to journalism school, and she said, "I went to the University of Miami." And I said, "I actually went to journalism school too. I went to the University of Southern California. I went to the Annenberg School of Journalism. I got a master's degree." And she flipped out. She couldn't believe. That's her dream school. When I tell you I have a master's degree in journalism from one of the most prestigious journalism schools in the country, I'm not joking. It's a big deal. I'm real proud of it. And she couldn't believe it. So my point to telling you all this is that she knows I'm a journalist. She knows I'm a journalist. Do you know what she put as my title? Local protester. This whole story is like that. I mean, this is knee-slapping funny. Their experts are tourists. Watch. Let's get to it. Oh, this is so good. They are classifying themselves, WJHG, they are classifying themselves as hacks in real time. One thing about as time passes, we're seeing it now in other issues, aren't we? Like health issues. We're seeing a lot of things in real time. You guys have been lying to us about this, about that. Here's the problem, WJHG and WMBB and the News Herald. Here's the problem with your lies is that over time, the truth's going to come out. And we're going to remember what you how you tricked everybody into this. All right, let's get to it. So this is the story that came out, WJHG, 2 nights ago. And I think it's going to be, I think it's this one.
You want to hear way more clues?
Hello,
Why?
and welcome to the
Why?
latest
All
installment
right, it's
of
not
the
that one.
Bar.
Although we should listen to Waylon Jennings. He's my favorite. All right, now I know where it is. I'll listen to Waylon Jennings. You want to listen to Waylon Jennings instead of this? I do. All right. This is the WJHG story. God, I love this one. This is one I usually get mad at the local media. Not this time. This time I just laughed. Again, the wrong one. You know, I need a producer. Highly paid job. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. You know, I once lost a girlfriend because if there was a fork in the road, I'd always go the wrong way. And that's a true story. You got a minute? No, let's get back to this. That really is a true story. All right, there it is. There it is. Okay, here we go. This is the funniest stuff I've ever seen. This is how they covered the story 3 nights ago.
Some might call them eyesores. Some might call them useful. The offshore outfalls at the Calypso Towers and Lowell Water have stirred up more than just stormwater recently. News Channel 7's Danny Travis joins us live in our studio with more on a new project the city is working on to replace the 2 outfalls. Hey, Danny.
Hey, Nisa, the city of Panama City Beach is working on plans to combine the 2 Front Beach Road offshore outfalls as one to improve surface draining. City officials say this project is being funded by a $21 million community development block grant and a disaster recovery grant to bring the first offshore outfall to the Gulf of Mexico. A distinctive feature on the world's most beautiful beaches has some tourist heads turning.
For me to come here and pay the money I paid for this condo to see this is terrible.
Extensive research done by the city shows that offshore outfalls at the Calypso Towers and Low Water are an efficient alternative for the final destination of stormwater.
It's got to go somewhere. There's more water out there than there is down here. I don't see a problem with that.
But a new project by the city to reroute the 2 Front Beach Road outfalls and make them one is a problem for some locals.
We would like the city to stop any idea of digging trenches into the Gulf of Mexico.
Trenches that city officials say will run approximately 1,500 feet into the Gulf.
We believe is going to create a dead zone and negatively affect the fish and the turtles in the area.
City officials say the term dead zone has no relation to the Gulf ecosystem, but refers to harmful bacteria that will be naturally killed by saltwater.
That is no, it will ruin our waters.
One benefit of the new offshore outfall is said to enhance protection of marine species such as sea turtle nesting.
Oh, it would be better because of the volume of water that it's diluting it.
Other benefits include improved water quality in the Gulf, decreased beach erosion, and more aesthetically pleasing beaches.
It's just clean water that's running off the street. And, there's more place out there for it than there is on the shore.
A shore that locals and tourists alike want to keep as beautiful as possible. Those against the outfall say they'll be outside of City Hall every Tuesday and Thursday night from 5 to 7 p.m. weekly. Beach City officials tell us they will not be doing any interviews about the outfall projects at this time. But they do tell us they expect all studies and designs to be completed and reviewed by the end of 2022. Live in the studio, Danny Travis, News Channel 7.
That's the funniest story ever. I mean, ever. That's the funniest story. They're not doing any interviews at this time. What? Why not? I thought they were proud of it. I'm about to tell you why in detail. The next thing I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you. You're going to want to read it twice. You're going to want to take notes. You're not going to believe what happened today, where this is all leading, and what's going to happen tomorrow. By the way, if you want to join our Save Our Gulf PCV protests tomorrow night, oh, I got something else. Tomorrow night from 5 to 7 is when it is. The city council meeting is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Panama City Beach on the corner of Highway 98, Highway 79. At the beginning of the meeting, everybody has a chance to express their views about anything they want. If you are against them discharging stormwater at the end of the city pier on both sides, then you can go up there and say so. I know I will. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. But it's tomorrow at 9 a.m. if you want to go to the city council meeting. Protest is tomorrow at 5 p.m. right in front of City Hall. All right. Oh, God, that's a funny story. What was your favorite part? I got to see what your favorite part was, by the way. There, yeah, Bill. Clean water out the street. Can you believe that WJHG could not get the city council to explain this issue? And so they went to shirtless, topless tourists on the beach. Do you think that these people knew the story? I mean, it is really unbelievable. Yeah, they're trying to, but it's not working. This is not working. Yeah. Oh, this is just absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, it is. It is sad, Brianne. All right, I'm going to show you something. There was an arrest made today. And it will seem insignificant to you unless you know the background. I'm going to tell you some of the background so that you'll know why it's very significant. Yeah, we'll do that in just a moment.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Okay, let me show you this. This is about the Lynn Haven attorney who was arrested on fraud charges. His trial is like, a week or two away. So now he's ready to sing. And I'm telling you, there are at least 36 local elected officials all over the county and other counties that are sweating more than Mario Gispert under oath. Adam Albritton, the young attorney for Lynn Haven, who was arrested a year ago or so, and is facing trial. He was the private attorney for so many local big shots. Let me get to it so you can see this. This is going to change. This is going to speed things up for those of you who have been frustrated. This is a big deal. And there was somebody else who was actually arrested today I need to tell you about. All right, here we go. Get rid of that. Here it is. Okay, so this is Adam Albritton. All right, here's the story. It's on mypanhandle.com, which is WMBB. You can find this story on Facebook. This just came out today. Lynn Haven corruption suspect to change plea. Corruption suspect. That's attorney Adam Albritton. All right. So here is what I had to say about this. I want you to be able to see this. This is very, very, very important and detailed stuff. And I'm going to read it with you, okay? I've long suspected that the FBI popped Lynn Haven first in order to get Adam Albritton to sing. He was the private attorney for so many local good old boys. For example, he was the registered agent for Yellow Jackets, LLC, owned by State Senator George Gaynor. What? The hell is Yellow Jackets, LLC? And why does George Gaynor have a company with Adam Albritton and the late Derwin White called Yellow Jackets LLC? Well, I got a feeling we're going to find out, because Adam Albritton is going to be singing, if he hasn't already. Albritton was on many corrupt boards throughout different counties too, by the way, including the Restore Act Committee. That's big. It was right after the oil spill. I'm telling you, dozens of local officials, because of the arrest today and because of this incident, with Albritton pleading, they're sweating more than Mario Rico Gispert under oath, and for good reason. This long FBI investigation into Bay County politics could end up being, mark my words, the biggest local corruption bust in American history. Here's why. Disaster relief money is like crack for too many of these politicians and bureaucrats. They are insatiable junkies, and they're just itching for another fix. You can see it if you look close. And the FBI investigation doesn't start with Hurricane Michael. I think it goes back at least as far as the oil spill. Here's where things are going. Panama City Beach didn't steal Low Water's boat launching area in 2019 simply to build Popeye Park for then Mayor Mike Pay-to-Play Thomas's benefit. It's bigger than that. More thought out, long term. The city of Panama City Beach claims ownership in Low Water as a pretext to get that $21 million in HUD money to drain St. Joe wetlands into the Gulf. That's what it's about. They had to say they owned one of those lots in order to do this. Things are always planned out with these people. So the feds now, they have a lot they need to prioritize, like construction boondoggles and road boondoggles and pipeline boondoggles. The good old boys thought that they had protection, and they did, from their powerful allies in state government. But the FBI disrupted that. Now even local judges are being investigated. Their business interests, their families' business interests. Circuit Judge John Fishel recently issued a standing order of recusal for all cases involving government attorney Cole Son Davis and Davis's law firm, Hand, Arundel, Harrison Sale. By the way, Cole Davis, you're going to love this. His email is cdavis@handfirm.com. It's handfirm. It's at handfirm.com. Anyway, it goes on. My Feel the Burn watchdog alerts tell me, are you ready for this? That Judge Fishel is submitting his resignation. What? Judge Fishel recused himself twice when I got sued for defamation by these jokers. Won both of them. They both cried uncle. But yeah, he recused himself smartly. Judge Fishel is State Representative Jay Trumbull's father-in-law. Did you know that? Jay Trumbull is married to Judge Fishel's daughter. A few years ago, the TDC named Trumbull's wife as the project manager for the PCB Sports Complex. Her company, Anchor CEI, was less than a year old when the TDC voted unanimously to do that. But she hired County Commissioner Robert Carroll as her chief engineer. Commissioner Carroll then told the TDC that her company, that was less than a year old, had 75 years of experience. On and on. Now, just for kicks and giggles, take a look at who's on the Transportation Appropriations Committee in the Florida legislature, in the Senate. Take a look at who's on the Senate Transportation Appropriations Committee. State Senator. Think DOT, Department of Transportation. Think easy money, big money, connected money, tax money. This is what happened today. A former Bay County Planning Board member, Kim Bottomy, was arrested today by the sheriff. She was appointed by County Commissioner Keith Baker to the Planning Commission. But Baker was arrested by the sheriff last year. Commissioner Baker. Have you ever seen a county commissioner arrested by a county sheriff? It happened last year. She was appointed by him, but when he was arrested and removed, she had to leave. She could no longer be on the Planning Commission because she was appointed by him. Now, she had an LLC. that acquired prime property on Star Avenue over by GAC. See, the LLC was owned by her and the late Derwin White. They bought this property, the LLC, on Star Avenue on the cheap. And then the LLC sold it to the DOT for more than $1 million after she voted to rezone it. She voted to rezone it. And then her LLC bought it from the DOT. Go see who's on the DOT Transportation Committee in the Senate. Nice work if you can get it. Oh, and Adam Albritton was the registered agent for her LLC. Is that information that you get from the news? Do you think that the News Herald or WJHG is going to tell you that tonight? No, they won't. Why not? Because they're on the take. That's why. Now, I'm going to tell you something I hadn't planned on telling you, but I might as well since we're here. Okay, you know the mayor of Panama City Beach, Mark Sheldon. Money mover, Mark. The guy that owns or is a manager of 24 LLCs, many across these United States. Now, who would have 24 LLCs? He must be providing a lot of goods and services to people. Anyway, he's not only the mayor of Panama City Beach, he owns two companies that one presents Sand Jam and one presents Gulf Coast Jam. The mayor of Panama City Beach is the concert promoter, but it gets better. The Tourist Development Council, the TDC, they award Mayor Sheldon's companies more than $1 million a year, close to $1.5 million. I was wrong when I told you it was 735. That was just for marketing, but they also sponsor the events. The TDC gives the mayor's company, to both companies, more than $1 million a year to market and promote Sand Jam and Gulf Coast Jam. Okay. I mean, that just blows my mind right there. I mean, I need to post see what you guys are saying. Okay, where was I? What story was I going with? Mayor Sheldon. Where was I right before that? Somebody tell me where I was. Sadly, I only do meetings during the day while we work. Yes, exactly. What about the LLC in Miami? No, they never fixed it. Chris, I never supported Mark Sheldon, ever. I mean, search for this. Bernie Thompson open letter to Mark Sheldon. No, I actually endorsed the other candidate. If you may mean great. I hope to see you, Christopher. You may mean that when I went up there, I thanked him for restoring the public comments and for everybody to and I did. Absolutely, I did. It was the right thing to do, and he deserved to be thanked for it. But I never supported him. It's a conflict of interest. No mayor should also be the. I really didn't even give him the benefit of the doubt. True, but it was the right thing to do to say that was the right thing to do. I'm always polite but firm, right? I believe in being passionate but never rude. I just thought of Jeff McConnell, angry elf. I don't know. It just popped in my head. So where was I going with the story about what was the last story? I was going to tell you the last story. I hadn't thought of telling you this, but I was going to tell you a story. Oh man, my memory. No, it's cool, man. I just wanted you to know I did not. No apology. I just wanted you to know that. Lynn Haven Albritton changed his plea to guilty. Yeah. Dave, he's singing, and that changes everything. And I just told you about the planning board member who was arrested today, the commission board member. I'm sorry, the planning board member. She and Albritton, they had an LLC together that sold property to the DOT for more than $1 million. Go take a look at who's on the Florida Senate. That's the Transportation Appropriations Committee. Okay, I told you about that. The arrest today. Boy, what else was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you something. I can't remember. So, I have like so many things to tell you, but some of them are happening tomorrow, and some of them I have to piece together for you as this develops. I already have it, but I can't give too much or nobody will follow it. I'm rendering substantial. Okay. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, it will be a big morning, Chief Davenport. It sure will. That's exactly right. All right, I'm going to jump out of here. I think I've done enough. They think I've done enough, but I've got a busy one tomorrow. I'll be at the council meeting, Panama City Beach Council meeting, early in the morning. So if you want to join us, or if you want to join us, it's at 9 a.m. Panama City Beach. All right. I gave you a little, Brian. All right. Let me jump out of here, and I will see you. I'll see you probably tomorrow at some point. I might have to break in and do a live stream. All the stuff that's happening. It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. All right, so I've been a little awkward this show. It's clumsy is more accurate, but at least I was able to share with you information that they're not sharing with you, and it's a real. It angers me when my craft, journalism, when they don't tell the story, and when they become PR outlets for government. Please remember this. There's two things I want to leave you with. These are big. The extent to which you'll find corruption is the extent to which the news outlets don't report it. Right? Don't forget that one. Here's another one. The reason that they always try to act like things are so complicated and you can't understand it, there's 3 words that if you remember, you're going to love it. You ready for this? Complexity masks fraud. Complexity masks fraud. That's what it's very complex. McConnell's the king of this, the gaslighter, Well, I don't know where you're getting your information. It's very complex. The dude didn't even finish high school, okay? Watch, tomorrow he'll pick one big word and he'll use it throughout the meeting to try to, he always overcompensates. Do you notice that? All right, my voice is about done, and I'll be busy tomorrow, ears pinned back, and we'll catch up then.